Tim was throwing another tantrum when Ruby handed me the divorce papers. "Just sign them, will ya? It'll calm Tim down." I didn't argue, just nodded silently and signed my name. As I turned to leave, I heard one of her friends snicker behind. "Me, wow, your husband's so obedient. Bet he'd even go along if you took out the marriage license instead." Ruby lit a cigarette, a smirk tugging at her lips. "Want to bet?" I did. A month later, standing at the marriage bureau, I was exchanging our marriage license for a divorce decree as read, fists clenched around my phone, heart numb. I didn't say anything. Just quietly replied to the most recent message. "What if I marry you instead?" Sure, Evelyn replied almost instantly. I turned off my phone. Laughter continued to pour out from inside. "Okay then. If he's really that obedient," one of them laughed. "Drinks are on me next month." 3 months, Ruby corrected. "Deal, deal, deal." The room burst into laughter. I hurried out. Only when I stepped into the sunlight outside did the tears fall. Ruby had her eyes on a college guy who hadn't even graduated. She bought him a house in J City and filled it with luxury items. But still, he wouldn't let her kiss him or even get close. He stayed in a 360 square meter suite, wore custom-tailored suits, and carried himself like royalty. "I refuse to be just some lover," he told her. Ruby found it all hilarious. This was the third act she'd staged for him. The first time, she pretended we were head over heels in love. I was clueless back then, happily posing for photos with her, watching her post them into a collage. But no matter how much I scrolled, I couldn't find that post. Turned out it was for Tim's eyes. Only the second time we staged a fight. She left me alone on the street and snapped a photo of me, looking abandoned. She sent it to Tim.C. He just can't leave me, and now, the third time, she wanted a divorce. My phone vibrated. A message. "Really? You mean it, Robert?" I smiled faintly. "Yes, really. That afternoon, Ruby took me to the marriage bureau herself. She was in a great mood, chatting the entire drive. 'Where do you want to celebrate our 3rd anniversary?' she asked. We'd known each other since we were kids, and we'd been married for 3 years. What about Prague? Didn't we always dream of feeding pigeons at Prague Square since we were 7? We parked. She stepped out, opened my car door. "What's wrong?" she frowned, brushing her thumb across my cheek. "I told you it's just a show." Just curious to see when he'll give in, mid-sentence. Something slipped out of her pocket. A box of condoms. Ruby coughed lightly, touched her nose, and didn't offer an explanation. We walked into the bureau. Everything went smoothly. I have aphasia. Around strangers, I can't speak. But I can nod or shake my head. "Are you divorcing of your own free will?" they asked. I nodded. "Is the marriage irreparable?" I nodded again. 1 month cooling off period. Come back in a month. Ruby took the receipt before we left. She took a picture of it and sent it to someone. Almost immediately, a message came in for me. It was from Tim. She'd sent him the photo of the receipt, satisfied. I tapped her profile picture and blocked her just as I finished. A flight notification popped up. Moments later, tickets booked. See you in Paris in a month. That night, I dreamt of Ruby, young Ruby, sweet and full of wonder. "Robert, your eyes are so pretty. Can I talk while looking into them? Your piano sounds amazing. Can I listen to you forever? You're my favorite. I want to marry you when I grow up." I liked her too. We were inseparable in school. Always sat together. Spent every evening playing. The day my parents died, I was in her car, playing rock, paper, scissors. Cars were too close. A massive truck crashed in front of us. My dad, my mom, my little brother even, our childhood dog were all lost in that fire. After that, I couldn't speak for a long time. Couldn't even sleep without Ruby nearby. She was patient then, practiced speaking with me, told me stories. Every night. It's protected me from kids who mocked my muteness. Marrying her felt natural. The day after college graduation, early morning at my bedside, she said, "Robert, let's get a marriage license." By sunset, we were officially married. My dreams were filled with red roses, kisses, and the promise, Robert will be happy forever. But when I woke up, everything was black. Another message, another photo, a messy bed. A smear of red dot disgust surged. I ran to the bathroom, dry heaving. Only tears came. In the chaos, I must have hit the phone. A woman's voice pierced the silence. Robert. My heart jumped Evelyn. We'd met in therapy. After 3 years of marriage with Ruby, my aphasia had improved. I only had episodes during emotional lows. During that time, I joined a support group and got paired with Evelyn. For nearly 2 years, I thought she was a guy. Her profile picture was a transformer. She ignored me at first, but people with aphasia understand each other. We're silent, but we crave companionship. I kept messaging her, sharing everything, photos, videos, voice clips. Eventually, we grew close, like old friends. When I first heard her voice, realized she was a woman, it almost triggered an episode. I'm sorry. Did I disturb you? It's 9 p.m. here, she said. Her voice was calm, clear. We'd only talked once since I learned her gender. I'd pulled back after that. That day's call had been accidental. The day Ruby handed me the divorce papers. Evelyn had asked what I was doing. I was still trembling when I replied with a single word. Signed. Outside Ruby's office. You're texted. Evelyn again. Feels like I'm losing my whole family. No dad, no mom, no brother, no dog. Now Ruby too? What should I do? Then marry me. She shot back. Isn't that an option? Inside, I heard them again. Don't joke. Robert can't even talk without Ruby. Think he'd actually go to the bureau and not cry? Ruby scoffed. Lighter clicked. Even if he cries like a dog, he'll still be my dog. Tell him to crawl east, he'll go. I stared blankly through. The door crack. Evelyn had sent me a list, things to do within the month. Get a visa, hire a lawyer, visit restaurants. I followed it. Checked off places one by one, eating alone, shopping, packing. The day I moved out, Ruby texted. No calls. Said she was traveling with Tim. He needed to see the world. She sent a photo, a resort. Nice place. Anniversary spot. I wanted to block her like I had Tim, but I still needed the divorce certificate in the next 2 weeks. I dealt with assets, medical checkups, and lawyers. The night before picking up the divorce certificate, Ruby came back. She called me, you moved out. Didn't answer. She laughed to herself. Robert, you're too cute. It's just an act. Let's finish it tomorrow. At the office, I clutched my phone tightly. Robert, it's fine. Just say okay. Okay? I whispered. Cheers erupted on the other end. I hung up and texted her at the time. The next day, she arrived late. Probably Tim's doing. She had a faint bite mark. Neither of us mentioned it. 5 minutes, and it was done. Surprise, Ruby tapped my leg. Free tonight. Let's talk. She smiled, peach blossom eyes twinkling, flipped her certificate. No. Matter who she became this past year, I couldn't forget who she once was. So I never planned to ghost her. Just didn't expect the thunderstorm that night. I was scared. That's how the crash happened. I waited, terrified that seeing her might shatter all my progress, but she didn't show up, she called. Music in the background. What redemption crap. Got sick of him. If my mom hadn't pushed me, the storm raged louder. I wanted to hide. There was nowhere to go. Then Evelyn called. Robert, she said calmly. I didn't reply. Wait, she said. I'm coming for you. Hackett. The KTV Ruby's friends were celebrating her return to single life. They were drunk, checking phones. Big news. Tycoons back in J-City landed on a private jet. No way. She's been abroad for a decade. She's trending. She brought a guy back. Took him abroad again. Urgent, huh? Someone passed Ruby the phone. That guy looks familiar. Ruby scoffed. Impossible. But she looked. Just once. Under the black umbrella at the airport stood a tall man, stern-faced. She knew him. Robert, she threw the phone. Robert and Evelyn. No way, he invited her over. Said he missed her too much. Ruby reached for her phone to call Robert.3a.m. She hesitated. He always answered her. She dialed anyway. Sorry. Well, the number you've reached is unavailable. After the accident, I never left. J-City, planes, trains, buses, they terrified me. Foreign countries? Worse. Now I sat next to Evelyn. Fidgeting, she responded calmly to the driver. Her presence was commanding. Even reporters swarmed us at the airport. I'd never dreamed of Paris. Evelyn offered me something. Want one? A bunny-wrapped candy? Remembered 2 years ago? Do you like candy? I found one I love. Chewy, soft, smells like peach. If you want, send me your address. I'll mail you a jar. She'd replied with an English address. First time she acknowledged me now. She unwrapped. One for me, I tasted it. Familiar and comforting. I was finally settling in. She gave me a place to stay. I was rarely home, but she asked, Robert, what kind of work do you want? Caught off guard. I said nervously, Can I? How would you know if you don't try? She replied, So I tried. Found a tutoring job. Felt so proud. Wanted to tell someone. Then the messages came. Where are you? Ruby's panicking. The night I left, Evelyn handled everything. Sent assets to the old house. The rest went to the lawyer. She even canceled my phone plan. If Ruby needed anything, she could talk to my lawyer. Not me. Accidentally answered a call. From her? Robert. What the hell? Did someone steal your phone? Buy a new one if it is? You memorized my number, right? Silence. And why do you send everything to the old house? You still want to celebrate our anniversary? I finally said her name. Ruby. We're divorced now. And I hung up. Blocked her. Blocked all her friends too. Fresh start. Picked up a cake. Evelyn liked them. She'd been home more. I wasn't expecting her to open the door early, holding a puppy. I nearly dropped everything. A dog. Yours? No, she smiled. Yours. I blinked. Mine? Why not? I felt pure joy. Ruby never let me have pets. I handed her the cake. Went to play with the puppy. I remembered the dog my brother helped pick out. Life felt simpler than Evelyn. Sat next to me, enjoying cake. Cream got on you, I said, grabbing a tissue. I'd just used her name, so casually. Evelyn, she leaned in. Kissed me. Firmly. Did you forget something? She whispered. My heart raced. When are we getting married? Today or tomorrow? Dazed, I mumbled. Tomorrow. Next day, we went to City Hall. The Paris mayor himself officiated. I nodded. We got our certificate. I was nervous. I was sure. Then Ruby called again, somehow got my French number. So you really went to Paris, she said, instantly recognizing my voice. Still acting like a brat? Still at it after a month? I exhaled deeply. Ruby, stop. Stop disrupting my life. Your life? What life? Don't think I don't know you ran off to find her? But that candy girl. This doesn't concern you. Your wife? You're not? Hung up? Not coming back? Fine. Think you can stick with your sweet girl forever? I didn't realize how malicious she could be. I'd been blinded by childhood. Then the screenshots started coming. Ruby had posted a photo with Tim admitting their relationship. I didn't explain. I posted a photo of our divorce certificate. Robert, you finally woke up. A friend texted. Always knew something was off. Especially how she made you so tense all the time. A few days later, more messages. Is she nuts? Ruby had sent engagement photos to everyone and a note. 3 days? Tell Robert it's my mom's birthday. If he doesn't come, I'll find another son-in-law. She was truly unhinged. I ignored her, but I was already heading back to the States. That night, Evelyn came home with 2 suitcases. We're going back, she said. I stood there, not sure. What she meant? Our marriage papers need to be recognized back home, she explained, already packing documents. Plus, I need to introduce you to family and friends. It hit me then Ruby had never taken me to any public events. She was always scared I'd stutter, or freeze up, or make her look bad. But Evelyn. She paused, cupped my face, looked straight into my eyes and said, There's nothing you can't do. Turns out, this is what a healthy relationship feels like. Evelyn had business to take care of in J-City first. I had to meet with my lawyer, so that was our first stop. Back. This time, the sun was bright. It wasn't like the rain-soaked departure when I'd left before. Evelyn, ever discreet, wore sunglasses and led me through the VIP exit. By now, I knew exactly who she really was. 12 years ago, the battle for control of the L Group was all over the headlines. Nobody expected the guy who didn't even finish college to win. But even more surprising, Evelyn, when she took over. Her bold tactics and creative strategies didn't just stabilize the company, they doubled its size in 2 years. I'd heard whispers of her brilliance, but I was too young back then. She'd been abroad so long I barely remembered her name. This time, no reporters stopped us. We made it to the hotel without any trouble. She headed off to work. While I caught up on sleep before my meeting at the law firm, Mr. Robert, "Your assets are being processed as per your instructions," the lawyer said. "Here are a few documents that need your signature." He handed me a stack of original contracts. "For the properties that had already been sold, you can take these with you. Everything's proceeding smoothly with your personal assets." But then he hesitated. "Except there are some marital properties shared with Ruby, according to the divorce agreement. It's a 50-50 split, but Ruby isn't cooperating. She's saying." He paused awkwardly. "She claims you two aren't divorced." I frowned. "So what do you think?" He looked at me, unsure. I nodded. "Don't worry, I'll handle it." After my roommates blocked Ruby, she kept making fake accounts, new ones every day trying to add me. Eventually, I gave in and accepted one. "Are you free tonight? Let's meet," she messaged. She didn't respond for a while after that. When she finally did, she wrote, "Back in the country, huh? What a pity. I'm going shopping with Tim tonight. It's no time to spare." I stared at my phone, nearly laughing out of pure frustration. She didn't want to cooperate with the asset distribution, and I didn't want this to drag out. I wanted things to go smoothly. There were options like going to court to enforce the agreement, but I wasn't staying long. A few hours later, another message came in. "You want a chance to talk? Tomorrow's my mom's birthday banquet. Come and apologize." She even attached the hotel location. Blocked her again. Then Evelyn texted, "Tomorrow, I'll introduce you to some friends." Just like that, I let Ruby's nonsense fade from my mind and caught a cab back to the hotel. Evelyn hadn't just sent over a few outfits, racks of dresses filled the entire room. Seeing how much effort she was putting in, I didn't dare slack. Good thing she wasn't back yet. It had been 10 years since Evelyn returned to the country. It was a big deal. She had to personally visit the J-City branch. No wonder she was so busy. The next day I slept half the day away. By the time I woke up, it was already afternoon. My clothes and makeup were ready, and Evelyn texted, "The driver's on the way to pick you up." On the way, my phone rang, an unknown number. Instinctively, I knew it was Ruby. I didn't answer. Ring dash ignored. Ring dash ignored. Finally, I blocked the number again, but as soon as the driver pulled up, I saw her. Ruby. She was standing at the hotel entrance, frantically dialing my number. Again and again before smashing her phone in frustration. I looked up at the hotel name. It was the same one Ruby had messaged me about. Just then, Evelyn called. "Have you arrived? You need me to come down and get you?" Her voice always so calming. I glanced back at Ruby. She wore a scowl. "No need," I told Evelyn. "I'll come up." Ruby seemed to hear my voice. She turned around surprised, almost happy. But something else was in her eyes too. Anger. She kicked her shattered phone aside and smirked. "Knew you'd show. Let's go," she said smugly, walking ahead. It seemed this whole hotel had been reserved. I suddenly realized this wasn't just a party. These were the friends Evelyn wanted me to meet. Ruby slowed down, noticing I wasn't following. "Fine, I'll apologize first." "All right," she said, lowering her voice. "It's just because you don't like Tim, right? I'll stop seeing him, okay? You're way too petty. He never did anything to you." I took a deep breath, trying to keep my cool. On the second floor, I recognized a few faces. Robert finally comes back, huh? "Ruby, aren't you afraid to bring him here?" "Exactly. There's some big shots here today." Ruby glared at them. Scram. Then she pulled me closer. Stay behind me and no matter what happens, just smile. Don't talk. Got it? I stopped walking. My voice came out cold. I'm not here for you. Ruby laughed. Come on, it's come to this and you're still playing hard to get. If not for me, then who? Just then, the inner hall doors opened. I spotted Evelyn immediately. It wasn't even her turn to speak, but there she was, sitting. Center stage. On one side sat Ruby's mom. On the other, her brother Bruce, who ran the company. Others stood and sat around her, whispering, sipping drinks, creating a semicircle with Evelyn as the focus dot Ruby leaned in. See that? Someone my mom barely managed to invite. Her husband's coming too. If you embarrass me, my mom and brother won't let you off easy. She tried to grab my hand again, but I shook it off, Robert. The voice was loud enough to draw attention. Heads turned. Evelyn was looking at me. Ruby, what's the ruckus? Her mom called, clearly annoyed at me, of course. Bruce raised an eyebrow at me, then smiled at Evelyn. Your husband should be arriving? Shall I fetch him? There was murmuring. Ruby whispered, I told you not to act up. Happy now? Your first time meeting the family? What kind of impression are you trying to make? Married for 3 years, and this was the first time I was meeting them. Then Evelyn said, Robert, come here. There was an empty seat between her and Ruby's mom. Ruby's jaw dropped, so did her mom's, and Bruce's. I walked forward. Evelyn's voice wasn't loud, but everyone heard it. Robert, she said, glancing around. My husband. The room fell completely silent. Robert, Evelyn said again. Anything you'd like to say? Was drenched in cold sweat. My stomach in knots. Evelyn reached for my hand and squeezed it. Her eyes met mine. There's nothing you can't do. I took a deep breath, turned to Ruby's mom and said, Ruby and I have been divorced for a while now. Why she didn't tell you? I turned to Ruby. I never thought of marriage or divorce as some kind of game. There's nothing between us anymore. Then to the rest of the room, I am legally married to Evelyn now. There's no longer any connection between Ruby and me. Ruby looked at our joined hands in disbelief. She stepped back twice. Evelyn stood up. I don't want anyone harassing my husband ever again. Am I clear? Ruby's mom nodded repeatedly, shocked. Sorry for the disturbance. Evelyn put down her towel, grabbed my hand, and we walked out. It wasn't until we got into the elevator that my heart began to slow. Robert? Robert, Ruby shouted outside. In the chaos, I'd forgotten to press the elevator button. She reached the doors and opened them. Evelyn turned coldly. Anything you need? In the elevator wall's reflection, I saw Ruby's shocked, almost desperate face. I hit the B1 button. As the doors closed, I lifted Evelyn's chin and kissed her deeply, passionately right in front of Ruby. Rumor has it Ruby's family locked her up after that. Took her phone, her laptop, made her swear not to contact me again before they let her out. Originally, we'd planned to get our marriage certificate notarized. Evelyn didn't feel like it. She said we should just get one straight from the municipal office. I'd already met her family and friends. She was the eldest granddaughter. Her mother passed when she was young, and her dad died of a heart attack. When she was 18, her uncles didn't stand a chance against her now. They all treated me politely. Her friends were nice. 2 except one who teased her for being an older virgin. Over 30 and still untouched, she joked. Boy, though we'd been married 2 weeks already, Evelyn hadn't made a move. Did she not know how? Or was she afraid I'd find out? Things got a little awkward that night as we got into bed. I thought about touching her, but hesitated. She kissed me, though, and I could feel the warmth in it. Evelyn had been busier than ever, making it hard to get close. Maybe this was just normal. Even if it wasn't, Ty wouldn't mind. What are you thinking about? She asked suddenly. I shook my head. She leaned forward and kissed me. Lately, her kisses had grown longer, more frequent. I just wanted to give you time to accept me, she whispered in that raspy voice, her breath hot under the covers. The heat in the dark stole my words. My mind wandered to the little dog. Our feet, the pale purple sheets, the tulip garden outside. It felt like Evelyn had remembered every little thing I'd ever told her. "I like you, Evelyn," I whispered, and kissed her again. She froze, but only for a moment. Then she kissed me back more boldly. Spring came, long days, short nights. We stayed up all night together, but not everything went as planned. The party had been too crowded, too noisy. Rumors started floating around. Under Evelyn's interview clips, vague accusations appeared, stolen groom and such. Evelyn wasn't fazed. "The more you suppress it, the wilder it gets," she said. But I was bugged. 3 days before we were due to leave for France, Evelyn was working late again. I was packing when I heard shouting outside. Yes. I've known my husband since childhood, over 20 years. How could this end like this? Someone else chimed in. "Look at this photo of Evelyn at the airport, the one that vanished the next day. Tell me my husband looks sober here." It was Ruby, surrounded by live streaming influencers. Screaming, accusing. I grabbed the documents I'd printed earlier and rushed outside. I'd sent all the staff out for errands. I was alone. I also forgot I freeze up in front of cameras, but when you want to protect someone, you find strength. I flung open the door, Robert. Ruby lit up. Before she could say anything else, I slapped her. "Look at yourself. Who gave you the nerve to think I wouldn't leave you?" Another slap. "And who gave you the courage to slander others?" Another. I threw the printed chat history at her. "Read it. Stop tainting the phrase childhood sweethearts." Tossed her a recorder. She played it back. Redemption. I was so bored with him for years. If my mom hadn't forced me, I wouldn't have bothered. Marriage. Guess what? Ruby paled and scrambled to shut it off. Damn, but the damage was done. Stream ended. All footage was scrubbed. The narrative changed. The chats from Tim were leaked. He pretended to be rich, used Ruby, wore designer clothes she bought. It was fully exposed. Even Evelyn, who never mixed business with personal issues, canceled. All business ties between the two families. Days later, Ruby's mom called. "We didn't handle Rianne right." "I'm sorry, Robert." For old time's sake, I cut her off. "You may have looked out for me before. But I gave up my parents' business bit by bit for you. I don't owe you anything." We stuck to our plan. We left for France on a drizzly day. Another commotion at the airport. Ruby again. Covered in mud and rain, she grabbed my luggage and fell. "Robert, please don't go." Evelyn looked annoyed but calm. She gave a nod. Security cleared out the crowd. Ruby clung to my suitcase. "Listen to me. It was all a misunderstanding. That call-it was Tim's. I was drunk. I didn't mean those things. He seduced me. I didn't want a divorce. I was going to propose to you." I looked down at her tear-streaked face. "The condoms, someone else put them in your pocket. The bed? Those cruel words? You were possessed, is that it?" I kept going, not even pausing. "You just thought I couldn't live without you, that I'd keep taking it. So you mocked me, humiliated me, because that made you feel powerful. Let's not end this on a sour note. Let it go." Ruby's hand trembled. "Please, give me another chance." She reached for my hand. I stepped away. "You're disgusting." Ruby froze. I walked off. Evelyn was waiting. I linked arms with. Her butt behind us, Ruby wailed. I didn't see her again for a long time. Rumors trickled in about her and Tim. Some of Ruby's own friends reported him. He got expelled, no diploma. Maybe there was a lawsuit, who knows. Ruby got kicked out of her home. Her mom shut off her cards, took back all her assets, told her to find a job. The once lavish heiress was now struggling to buy a bottle of booze. Word was, she and Tim were fighting in the streets. Nobody cared. As for me, my job went well. From 1 student to 2, then 4, then a whole class. My language studies were coming along, even if the 15 tenses made me dizzy. That first winter, in France, Evelyn took me skiing. I screamed all the way down the slope at night. We lay in a valley hotel, counting stars. Each star was someone who once loved us. Evelyn held me tight. "Robert, I love you. Love you so, so much. The biggest regret in life is trusting the wrong person. The greatest fortune, loving the right one, and me." I was lucky enough to fall into Evelyn's hands.